My son is furious. He'll cheer up at Christmas. Not Andrew. He doesn't like Christmas. We're talking Christmas Eve. Hit it. It was 1986. The Smiths released The Queen is Dead. Jeff Goldblum starred in The Fly, and a dying socialite hired a PI to find her estranged grandchildren. I'm your host, Jerry D, with another episode of Totally Rad Christmas, the podcast that talks all things Christmas in the 80s. Toys, movie specials, music, and fads. If it was gnarly during Christmas in the 80s, we got it covered. Now, joining me is a Totally Rad Christmas All-Star and Ratty winner. It's the Alamo City Santa, Jeremy Phelps. Jeremy, what's happening?
Hey, Jerry, how are you doing? I don't know how long it's been since I've been on the air, but
It's been a minute. Yeah.
I know how long it's been since we've talked. It hasn't been that long.
No, exactly. Yeah. Full disclosure, I'm pre-recording most of these because I work at a Christmas store and my season is bonkers. So,
And I work a lot at Christmas time too, as the
yeah,
Alamo City Santa.
very, very true. Yes.
But I'm also on this show a lot. I think there's going to be a stretch where I'm going to be recording like once a week for like a month.
Which is awesome. I do appreciate that.
I love being on the show, even for this more obscure stuff.
This one is
Exactly.
something. It's something. We'll get into it, but yeah, I was like, man, I don't really know where to place this in like the canon of Christmas. Definitely doesn't belong in something I'd watch every year, but every once in a while, like maybe every 5 to 10 years, I might put it on and be like, oh yeah, that was an okay movie.
Well, in the past month, I've watched it twice because we were going to record about a
Yeah,
month ago. So I watched it that
right.
weekend. And then I watched it before dinner.
Oh, okay. Well,
And I
I'm
think I'm
sorry.
done.
Well, before we get into it, just like Carol Kane did to Bill Murray and Scrooged, I want you to hit me with the toaster. So I'm going to ask you a few questions, and I want you to hit me with the first answer that comes to the top of your mind. Okay.
This
So
is going to be an interesting one.
let's say that Andrew Kingsley, so that's
Yep. The
the
sun.
son. Let's say he's Scrooge. Recast
Absolutely.
the Ghosts of Christmas with J.R. Ewing from Dallas, Mike Carrington from Dynasty, and Gordon Gekko from Wall Street.
Wow. I never watched, I wasn't a big fan of Dynasty or Dallas, but I know JR. So I guess he'd be Christmas. Is he the most evil?
JR,
Yeah.
he's probably the most conniving. Yeah.
Okay, then I make him Christmas future.
Okay.
We'll do Carrington for Christmas past and
Yeah.
Gordon Gekko because I saw him not that long ago when I was in college. One of our professors made us watch that movie, so I think I watched that for like two different classes because I had that professor two different times. So
Oh, wow. That's a professor's like, I got to get these grades done. I got to
yep,
finish my my research paper. Like, you guys just watch this movie. No,
yep.
that's where I would place it as well. So very that's good. Okay. What would you title a Hallmark movie starring Melissa, that's one of the grandchildren, and Huffner?
Oh my gosh, I'd call it the forced love story
For sure.
because I wrote that down earlier. Why are they forcing this love story
Yeah, it really, there was no
out of
reason to at
nowhere?
all. All right. And finally, let's say that Mrs. Kingsley hired a private investigator. If you, or excuse me, Mrs. Kingsley hired a private investigator. If you had to hire a PI, would you rather hire Thomas Magnum, from Magnum PI,
Yep.
or Eddie Valiant from Who Framed Roger Rabbit?
Oh wow. I want to say Eddie Valiant, but he hates tunes, and I love tunes. but I'll go with Eddie. I didn't watch a lot of Magnum, so I've seen Eddie Valiant many times in my life.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, Bob Hoskins is you can't go wrong with him. That's good. That's just a way for our listeners to get to know you a little bit better. So thank you for that. Now, today we're here to talk about Christmas Eve.
Loretta Young comes home in a touching holiday story.
Does it have a happy ending?
She's a mother struggling to bring her family together for Christmas.
I want them to come because they're ready to put the past behind them.
It shouldn't take a miracle,
And there's not much time.
but it will.
She's going to be disappointed.
And now Arthur Hill, Susan Hubley, Trevor Howard, Loretta Young in the heartwarming holiday movie, Christmas Eve.
From 1986. This was a made-for-TV movie, aired on December 22nd of 1986. What do you remember about this? Like, what's your history or experience with it? Had you heard of it?
Well, I'm going to be honest with you. Before we talked about this movie, I had no idea what I was signing up for. Didn't even know it was a movie. I thought maybe we were just going to be talking about Christmas Eve in the mid 80s. I don't know. But, it's Christmas Eve. How can you talk Christmas Eve without having Santa involved? Oh, wait, this movie had nothing to do with Santa. There was hardly any children.
Yeah. It's the title's interesting because I
yeah.
feel like they could have gone with a whole lot of other things.
Yeah, because Christmas Eve was all of like 15 minutes at most of the movie.
Right. It's all about trying to get to Christmas Eve.
Yep.
That's about it.
And even when they got to Christmas Eve, it was something else.
Yeah, it was a little
It's Christmas
depressing.
Eve. That would encapsulate the entire movie, except for maybe the courtroom scenes, which were probably unrealistically funny.
Yeah, I'm sure like court is not like that at all.
Yeah, I watch a lot of Law and Order, and that kind of stuff wouldn't stand, at least in New York in the 2000s.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, so like you, I had no idea what this movie was about. I just knew that it was a movie that I had to cover because it was on my list. And I watched it and it was something.
Yep.
And that's kind of the nicest thing I can say. Now, is it terrible? No. Is it good?
No.
So it's kind of
meh.
that fine line. It's a very melodramatic thing. They really try to push the schmaltz on you, and sometimes it works, and a lot of times it kind of falls short.
It's just I might have been better watching it on TV in 1986 when the picture was better, or at least it matched everything else. But it was a depressing movie that didn't look good.
Yeah,
Because watching it on Tubi, it was just old and grainy.
well, it's not a movie that they would like go hunt down like the original film and restore for sure.
It might have just been a VHS. It might have been shot on VHS. Who knows?
Because someone just like a camcorder,
Yeah.
run
Little
it through a
handy cam.
filter. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right. So Loretta Young stars as Amanda Kingsley. She's like this wealthy New York socialite. She's a matriarch of her family. She learns that she's dying.
Matriarch. She has one kid. Is that really a matriarch?
Well,
in
she
an
has
estranged family?
grandkids, I guess.
That
Okay,
she
well, then
hasn't
maybe
seen in a
not.
decade.
Well, that's also true.
Yeah.
But okay, well, she's a wealthy socialite. I'll say that.
There we go. There we go.
But she learns she's dying, and she wants to be reunited with her 3 grandchildren that she hasn't seen in like 16 years or something because of a bitter argument that they had with her like greedy son Andrew,
Who was only 9 years younger than his mother. And you can tell by looking at them, like they look like they could have gone to school together.
Yeah, for sure. He was not son material.
Nope.
But then, like, because she's so generous with her wealth, he like takes her to court to try to declare her incompetent and like take over the company. And it's a whole thing.
Well, he's not
PI.
just trying to take the money. He's worried about her blowing his part of the money because, she has full control and she wants to give it all away. And, that's not acceptable because it's the 80s, so it's greed.
That's right. Gordon Gekko, greed is
That's
good.
right.
So in the meantime, because she's dying, she hires a private investigator to track down her grandchildren if possible, and she wants them to reunite on Christmas Eve, like one last Christmas before she passes.
And Huffner, the investigator, not a detective, a private investigator. He emphasized that
That's
multiple
right.
times.
He says that so many times. Yeah,
He's the only person I even recognize in the cast, and I only
Me too.
recognize him because I've been watching a lot of Law and Order SVU, which I referenced, to court cases, and he was an ADA in the early seasons.
So
Yeah.
I remember him from somewhere completely different, which we'll get into. So yeah, we'll do a quick rundown of the cast here. So Loretta Young, like we mentioned,
No idea who she is.
she was in The Bishop's Wife, is kind of what I remember her
That
from.
was the original preacher's wife, right?
Right, exactly.
Right, okay.
Yep. So she's in that.
Stop snowing it.
Oh, if only we could spend Christmas back here where we were so happy with you and all of our old friends.
Her son Andrew is played by Arthur Hill. I did know Arthur Hill. Of course, he was on Broadway. He was like a Tony Award winner, but I knew him as he was in A Mouse, a Mystery, and Me. It's like
I don't know that.
from 1987. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah. So he was like the red herring, and everybody thought he was a big bad, but it turns out he actually wasn't.
Oh,
Thank you. George, what do you want to talk about? What's wrong?
But he was also Grandpa Ingalls on Little House on the Prairie. And
I do remember that show.
yeah, so he was Grandpa Langsford. So now Huffner, who you were talking about, is played by Ron Liebman, who, like you said, was in Law and Order. Well, I knew him as Dr. Leonard Green, Rachel's dad from Friends.
Oh my gosh, yes. Yes, I remember that too. He
Yeah.
does a lot of New York work.
Yeah, well, I mean, I guess if you're going to live there, might as well, right?
Except the Friends was shot in LA, but it just took place in New York.
Yeah, well, yeah.
I
but-
did forget that he was in that too. That's right.
Yeah, that's really where I knew him from.
So, come on! Explain yourself, Geller. First you get my Rachel pregnant?
You got Rachel pregnant?
Who did?
You did!
Yes. yes, I did. But it was just a one-night thing. It meant nothing.
Oh, really? That's what my daughter means to you? Nothing?
And then he also does the voice of Ron Cadillac in Archer. So if you've ever watched Archer.
I've never watched Archer.
Now, the butler, Maitland, was played by Trevor Howard, who I've heard of these movies, but I've never seen them. He was in The Third Man and he was in Brief Encounter. He's one of those guys you see him, you're like, I kind of looks familiar, but you just don't know him from anything you've ever seen.
Just looks like a random old dude. Random butler dude.
Yeah, the whole thing was directed by Stuart Cooper. There's some other folks in the cast, but I didn't bother to look them up because most of them I just didn't recognize. The only one I
Right.
recognized, well, the only two, I knew Loretta Young and Ron Liebman, and that was it.
Yeah, I looked him up on IMDb. I'm like, I recognize his face. Why do I recognize his face? And then somehow I missed Friends because I think probably because Friends was after Law and Order SVU for the most part, so it probably showed up higher on the IMDb list as I was scrolling through it. So
Yeah, it could be. So yes, this is a very melodramatic kind of thing. There's, the estranged son who, or not, I mean, not estranged, but the son who his kids are estranged from him because he's like so hard-nosed, and because, well, we'll get into why. It's kind of a ridiculous thing, but I guess she ends up blaming herself, and it's a whole.
yeah, that's crock. But yeah,
I mean, yeah, like, come on, guy. So it starts off. There's the titles, of course, and like the snowy B-roll footage. It's pretty, but starts off in her penthouse. Andrew is home. He's worried about Loretta Young's character Amanda, and there's like long arguments between the two of them. And he wants to like demolish some tenements for the land so he can develop it, but she says no because she like has pity on the people that would have nowhere else to go.
exactly. Yep.
Basically, she's a philanthropist and he's the greedy Gordon Gekko.
Yep.
So one thing that I thought was interesting was that almost every night she goes out and she just like distributes food and supplies to like all the homeless, and they're like her friends. And it's
She
just like
brings
her and her butler.
coffee,
Yeah.
coffee and money in the middle of the night, which This also infuriates her son, Andrew, because it's New York City in the 80s, and you shouldn't be walking around in the dark in New York City in the 80s.
That's right. There's a reason it was called Hell's Kitchen, and
Yep.
Daredevil had to protect it, right?
And Times Square used to be a pretty scary place back in the day, I've heard, too.
Oh, I bet. I don't
It
know.
wasn't. I've only been there in 2008. It was a lot nicer. So
Yeah. So he's worried about her. She says she misses her grandkids because she hasn't seen them, and they don't really get along with their dad. There's also some issues in like a board meeting where there's IRS trouble because there's no receipts for like all of her donations.
yeah, she doesn't write checks and she doesn't get receipts.
She just gets cash and passes out cash.
Because you can't write a check to someone who doesn't have an ID.
Right.
You
Well,
can't
that's
get a
what I
receipt.
heard.
You can't get a receipt if they don't have an address. Apparently,
That's, I guess, I don't
Yep.
know. Apparently, that's what they need for the IRS. But because of that, like Andrew, who's talking to his business partners, they suggest, hey, maybe she's not of sound mind. Maybe we just have her declared like insane or temporary, like she's losing her mind or something. And he's like, no, not yet. Now, we do also find out that Andrew's wife, Marion, passed away like
Yep.
or rather early on. So something to remember. That's a little tidbit here. But so the homeless are being rounded up, and she kind of intercedes for them as the police are like, trying to disperse them from the local businesses. And the officers end up arresting her and her butler, Maitland, who punches one of them.
this all just seems vaguely familiar. Rounding up the homeless, the real estate guy with too much money trying to control everybody.
Well,
Hmm.
that one I don't think was him. This one, I
No,
think
but
it's
it's two different things. Just make me go, wow, that's just a little too
you know
real.
what they say about history, right?
Yeah, it repeats itself. And life imitates art, apparently.
But she does end up collapsing, and she's taken to a hospital, and the doctor wants her to stay for tests. She kind of refuses, but eventually, as they're talking, she acquiesces, and it turns out she has an inoperable aneurysm, which is kind of like a bubble in her head that's going to burst.
That's exactly what they said.
It's an aneurysm, Amanda. That's an enlargement of the wall of an artery, like a bubble. And in this instance, it's inoperable. I'm very sorry, Amanda.
Yeah, I know. That's why I wrote it down. I was like, a bubble, okay. But yeah, so it could burst in like weeks. It could be months. It could be years. Who knows? But
They never said years. They said weeks or months. So
okay, yeah, I just have weeks or months. I embellished years.
yeah.
But yeah, who knows when she's going to pass. And she doesn't want her son to know, but she told her butler, Maitland, who's kind of like her confidant as well.
Yeah, it's
He's
her
like
best friend. It's her Alfred.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
It's her partner in crime. Literally, because he punched a cop. So,
That's true, and they all got arrested for it.
So she decides, this is where she comes up with like her cockamamie plan, right? She's going to hire the PI and track down like her grandkids because she wants one last Christmas with everybody.
Track down these kids with no addresses, phone numbers, real locations,
No
no
idea.
social media, no internet. This guy was good.
Yeah, I mean, for real.
Yeah.
Now, he did kind of have a clue to start off with, but still, yeah. So she drives to Brooklyn to meet this private investigator, not detective, Morris Huffner, because she went to Brooklyn because I guess they were from Brooklyn originally. That's like where her husband and her kind of started their own
Her
business.
husband's office was like right down the street from Huffner's office. So
Yeah, so she's like, I guess that means you're my guy, just because of office proximity.
hometown boy, I guess. Although, it's New York, it's all one big town. So
That's right.
all 5 boroughs.
Forget boroughs. Yeah, there's no such thing. It's just one big,
But how come you picked me? Did somebody recommend me?
No, I took your name out of the yellow pages.
Huh. But why bother coming all the way to Brooklyn? I mean, there are plenty of private investigators in Manhattan. I'm talking about big-time operators.
Yes, I know. But you see, my husband opened his first little office about 3 doors from here. And it was the beginning of a very successful business. And since our good fortune started on Flatbush Avenue in Brooklyn, I felt that I would be lucky here as well.
I guess that's as good a reason as any. Okay. What have you got for me to go on, please?
Benjamin, please. Thank you.
But she talks to this Morris Huffner. She tells him that she wants him to track down her grandchildren, Josh, who's about 24, Melissa, who's 26, and Harley, who's about 32.
And she was confused at the age at first, too.
Yeah, well, you know, she has
She was thinking that the younger one was a little younger, and
she's got a brain
correct-
bubble.
That's true.
You have a brain cloud.
Brain cloud?
There's a black fog of tissue running right down the center of your brain. It's very rare. It'll spread at a regular rate. It's very destructive.
And she hasn't seen any of these kids in years, so
It's been 16 years, yeah. But they left
16
home
years since she's seen her 22-year-old, though? I think it's mostly 16 for the oldest.
Could be.
Because he was a draft dodger for Viet.
I know, isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
But yeah, so anyway, they left home because they were at odds with their father, and she gives him $10,000 like cash, plus she's going to pay his expenses and give him an extra $5,000 per grandchild that he finds before Christmas. So this guy's like has an awesome score in the 80s. Like he could buy a house with that. You know?
Maybe not in New York.
Well, maybe not in New York, but like, you know, most of the rest of the US. Maitland was a little upset that she didn't tell him about her illness, you know, but I guess the detective doesn't need, I don't know. To me, it seems like I would tell him so he
could guilt the kids.
Yeah, exactly. Right. You want
grandma's going to die. You need to see her because this may be her last Christmas.
Yeah. She's really leaving it a lot to fate, right? And chance.
But she was confident it was going to work out.
Yeah. She had
up
faith
to the very end.
So the only kind of tip that they have is that he wanted to be like a country singer, the youngest, Josh.
Yep.
So Huffner goes to Nashville because that's where most country singers kind of start off.
Yep.
So, you know, he like literally goes to various record studios back and forth. And eventually he finds out that Josh was on his way to San Antonio to sing at a place called the Looping Lariat, which I was like,
I've never heard that place. But you know, that I didn't move to San Antonio until '93, so it might have been closed by then.
It could have been. That's right. It was a rough and tough place, I guess. Yeah, the Looping Lariat, which I've never heard of, and it sounds fake, but
well, I'm pretty sure they weren't in San Antonio because why drive all the way to San Antonio to shoot a movie? So one scene of a movie.
Yeah, it didn't make sense for sure.
Could be doing any honky tonk bar anywhere. So
we also, as he's like reporting in, you know, we also get a little clip of her, like it cuts to her and she's saying that she wants like the biggest tree for Christmas. And so that's going to be part of the, you know, she just wants like a huge tree for their big Christmas reunion. So Huffner does end up finding Josh and he gives him her message that she wants him home for Christmas. And he kind of like goes into some backstory with him. You know, his dad sent him to military academy, but he only wanted to play his music.
And that's all she said to tell me. She'd like me to come home for Christmas.
That's it. So should I tell her you'll be coming home for Christmas?
No. Look, Mr. Huffner, it's not that I don't want to see my grandmother. I love her. I just don't want to see my father.
Excuse me. This is really none of my business. I was hired to find you, deliver a message, and I did. Okay?
You know, and they kind of talk a little bit about it, but he's like, hey, whatever. I'm just here to track you down and give you this message. And that's it. Yep. But like, lady, let him know so he can tell these kids that would get him home for sure.
I would think so. I don't want to, if I cared about my grandmother and I cared about both my grandmothers, I'd want to be there.
Yeah, for sure. So,
especially if I have the means.
I mean, I would. Like we thought
when grandma's got the means to get you there.
When my daughter was 2 months old, my firstborn, my grandma had like a crazy drop in her blood pressure, and they thought she was going to pass like very, very soon. So we piled my 2-month-old daughter into the car and we drove south. What's usually like a 9-hour trip took about 15 hours with all the stops and changings and feedings and but we made it, and then she ended up living another 2 years. So it was pretty awesome. But
that's good.
But like, you know, we thought she was going to die. So we hurried home. Like, this is like a gimme. If you want your kids home, just tell him that.
Yeah.
I guess she wants him to come home not out of obligation, but out of love, I guess. I don't know. But anyway, Josh tells Huffner that Melissa was in Hollywood the last time they talked because she is into singing and dancing and acting. And he says Harley might be in Canada. Those are like the two things he says.
At least Canada is a small area to look at. So
I know, right? In all of Canada. Okay. Yeah. So meanwhile, while all this is happening, Kingsley goes to her lawyer. She changes her will to leave the controlling shares of Kingsley International and to bypass her son. Like she's going to leave it to, is it her grandkids or to like everyone else? I don't remember.
I don't remember that either. But either way, Andrew was
he's getting cut
nothing.
out. Yeah, he's really getting cut out. And of course, he hates that. So he wants to prevent it. And so he decides he's going to go forward with the plan.
Yep, we're going to declare mentally incompetent.
Mentally incompetent. And that way, hopefully the judge will name him as conservative. Back to Hollywood. And we get to the Valley Playhouse and Huffner finds Melissa, which, like, how? That's awesome.
So first he found her house with her maid.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
I don't know. She's working in this playhouse with children's theater. I don't know how she could afford it. Because that house was
nice,
like on a cliff, a beach cliff. I mean, that had to be, a lot of money. And
children's theater in the 80s pays well, I guess.
I guess so. Before all that anime.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
But yeah, he manages to track her down because doesn't they say something like she goes by her married name? She was married for a bit. We find out. So she's not using her maiden name anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they have, while they're, chit-chatting, he spends a lot of time with her. Somehow they seem to fall in love. I'm not sure why, but that's how we got a Lifetime movie out of it.
I mean, it's a Hallmark movie. It's an insta love, trademark insta love. But yeah, he tracks her down. She's directing the kids. They're doing the Nutcracker. She got married to spite her father because he didn't like this guy, but it didn't work, of course. So he split and she kept the name, but like they're flirting, and she even takes a day off to like be his tour guide, right? Around Hollywood. They go to the beach, and
of course,
it's like, all right, Huffner, you go, man.
He's gonna, if he's not gonna get the money for getting him there, he's gonna at least, get him something.
That's right. Why just get $5,000 per grandkid when you can inherit some of it? So
there you go.
Mrs. Kingsley, please, could you? I don't want to talk too loud. I'm a private investigator from New York. I'd like to talk to you for a couple of minutes when you finish up here, if that's okay with you. All right?
Kingsley's not my name anymore, so I have no idea how you found me. But if you're working for my father, the answer is no.
Excuse me, ma'am, I don't know your father. Your grandmother's the one who hired me.
But yeah, so very exciting. Meanwhile, Molly, who's one of the homeless ladies that Amanda takes care of, well, she's dying. And it's like this crummy hospital. There's no family or anybody, no flowers in her room. And so Amanda really feels sorry for her and calls the doctor to move her to her own private room. And it's pretty nice.
And that comes up later too. So,
well, you're exactly.
Yeah, that comes up in court because she was in Bellevue, which another thing you always hear about watching Law and Order. So
Bellevue.
Yeah.
Isn't that where, is that from Miracle on 34th Street also?
I don't remember, but probably.
Trying to remember the name of the place that they had Chris committed to.
It might have been because they do have a mental ward, at least on Law and Order. So at Bellevue.
Gotcha.
I've been to Macy's on the day before Christmas Eve.
Yeah,
it was 10 o'clock at night. It was a 90-minute wait to see Santa.
Wow.
We didn't do it.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't wait that long to see Santa either. But anyway, so Huffner goes to Canada, and
the first town he pretty much finds them.
He happens to luck out into this thing called the club he's
first he's in a random bar that
That's
happens
right.
to be run by another draft dodger. And he recommends them to talk to this guy who runs the club, who,
The club, right.
happens to know how to find some people who left the country.
Well,
but
because
this guy,
the club helped these draft dodgers like find jobs and places to live and, things like that.
but yet the guy, as soon as he goes to the guy from the club, he knew exactly where to send the guy.
That's right. He's like, oh yeah, I know him. Like, what? How many people have you helped that you can remember every single one?
but yet Josh doesn't have a phone, so he can't call them. But he'll give him the address. But don't drive now because there's a blizzard.
There's a blizzard. Yeah. He tells him Harley works with Greenpeace, essentially.
Yep.
And
have you ever been in a blizzard?
I've never been in a blizzard.
It's an experience. Yeah, he should have stayed out of his car.
Yeah, I don't know. But luckily, as he's driving in this blizzard, he doesn't freeze to death.
Yeah.
And he doesn't crash or anything super serious. And
he gets stuck in the snow and gets out of his car and tries to walk.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
And
like, he doesn't freeze
got lucky
to death.
they found him.
Well, he just happens to find Harley with his new family too.
Yeah, the odds.
And he lectures him about his grandma.
I led a demonstration outside the plant and burned my draft card.
You led a demonstration against your father's plan?
Oh. When I told my father I'd rather leave the country than go to Vietnam, he didn't say a word. Just looked straight through me as though I didn't exist anymore. That was the last time I saw him. If I'd ever see him again, it'll be too soon.
So I guess this means you're not going home for Christmas, huh?
Well, I love my grandmother.
Oh, yeah. Everybody loves Grandma.
What does that mean?
It means that I don't buy it. I heard exactly the same thing from your brother and from your sister. If you really love your grandma so much, she shouldn't have had to hire me to come looking for you, no matter how rotten your relationship was with your father, for crying out loud. She's an old lady. She's your grandma. And the next time you see her might be at her funeral.
Which is good for him. Everyone's like, yeah, we liked her. It's like, you loved her. You haven't seen her. You haven't talked with her. Like, I don't care if you talked with your dad, but you can't say you loved her if you haven't communicated with her for like this long.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, in court, Maitland is just killing it on the stand. He's being sassy and whimsical with all his answers and
just
clever.
Getting the crowd in an uproar. Everybody was loving it like they were at a show.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I would have watched. I would have left.
Yeah.
But like, there's things that come out, details about her. So she spends like $6,500 on toys every year, $5,400 Molly, that the homeless lady we were talking about earlier.
First you said Molly. I was thinking, isn't Molly a drug? She spends $4,000 on Molly? Whoa.
Yes, she did. She knows how to, that's why she has the brain bubble. No, that
was the homeless lady that she was friends with.
Right, exactly. But like 800 of that was just on the flowers because she, the lady loved flowers.
None of these things are bad things either.
They're not.
Especially the money for the toys. She does this every year for kids who can't have Christmas.
Right. Unfortunate.
The lawyer tries to, make it look like she's just throwing away money this year, but Maitland's like, she's taking care of people every year.
Yeah. Well, when they ask, like, don't you think it seems a little cavalier to spend that much? And then he quotes like 1 Corinthians.
If you are suggesting that Mrs. Kingsley's acts of charity are irrational, let me suggest that you find Corinthians 1 equally so. To quote, "And now abideth faith, hope, charity, these three. But the greatest of these is charity."
So it's like, good for you, Maitland, like giving it to him.
Yep.
And then they call Maria the maid on the stand, and Amanda gives her money to send to her family back home, and she pays for all their plane fares when they come. Yeah, I mean, it's like,
I'm not sure what case they're trying to build against this lady, because she just seems like a really generously nice lady.
Yeah, they're doing a terrible job.
It's not till then he puts Molly on the stand. No, it wasn't Molly. It was the other homeless guy, the professor or whatever.
Yeah.
Just had to tear this guy apart because he was destitute and had a drinking problem.
Yeah.
How does this help your case?
I don't know.
You're just humiliating this poor guy who's already down on his luck, and
I
you're
think
making
he was
him feel
trying,
worse.
I think he was trying to say that it's just a waste of money giving it to them, but like it's not, man. Like that's terrible. Like you're not doing a good job.
No, this guy was a terrible lawyer.
But the judge meets both parties in the chamber, and he grants.
That was because Amanda got up and started yelling, so they had to pull everything aside and set the stage for the next part of the story. So
right. So they're going to grant a request for delay on January 5th
because she wants to present her. She wants her grandkids to be there to say that they'll be the conservators and.
Right, and Andrew thinks she's
like,
delusional.
Yeah, they're not coming. So yeah, this will just clinch the case for me.
He's like, Your Honor, she's out of her mind. My kids hate me. They're not coming back.
Yep. He says all this after she leaves. I don't think
after she leaves.
You shouldn't be talking to the judge at that point. Usually, it's got to be both lawyers.
Yeah, that seems a little sketchy to me. So Huffner goes to give Amanda his report, and she invites him over on Christmas Eve. There's a nice little sweet part where she's telling a story about her childhood to a group of kids.
Yeah.
Battle on Christmas until a dove appeared. Oh, it was about like the Christmas.
I think it was World War I, maybe.
Yeah. The famous Christmas truce.
Yeah, because the dove actually was introduced earlier in the story when they were putting up the Christmas tree.
The dove, right?
Yeah. And the maid was wondering what kind of bauble the dove was. The dove was a tree topper, and that's all she really said about it at that point. And then it was. In this story about the battle, we learned the significance of why she felt the dove was important.
Right. A dove appeared
Spoiler
and both
alert,
sides embraced.
That's not the last time we'll hear about the dove.
It's Chekhov's dove, you know? Meanwhile, Andrew goes to talk with his mother, and they argue about Christmas. They argue about love. And this is where we get the most unbelievable part of it. He felt he always had to prove himself because he felt like he was never included in the love that Amanda and his dad, like his mom and his dad had. What? Like, I don't understand his argument here, but
either he was just unloved or he just wanted to be part of the relationship he had no business being near. I don't know. I'm just going to think he just felt unloved.
Well, I think that's what it is. He just felt, or
maybe his dad was cold to him. I don't know.
Well, it could be that too. Like his dad was so affectionate with his mom, but not as much towards him, that he felt left out and felt he had to earn his place. And that's why he was always so hard on his own children.
I'm going to go for the positive and, think that's what it is.
But then she blames herself about all that. It's like, no, that's not no. I don't know. I don't know what they were trying to say, but they didn't say it well, whatever it was.
It was a little confusing. You're right. But I'm just trying to, make up my own story to justify it.
Yeah, for sure. And Andrew goes to visit his wife's grave, and that's pretty nice. But okay, so here we are, finally. Christmas Eve, 7 p.m. Maitland and Maria, they're getting everything prepared. The doorbell rings and Huffner enters. And then it's just like him and the maid and the butler and this nice old lady just kind of hanging out on Christmas Eve, watching the clock for most of the time.
Watching the clock, not listening to music, not eating, because she refuses to eat till the grandkids get there.
She's not going to eat anything. So these guys must be starving.
Yeah.
Like, that's terrible.
Huffner said he wasn't hungry, but I think he was just trying to be polite to the old lady.
Yeah.
But it wasn't until hours later she has Maria put on some music.
Yes. Yeah. But they kind of chat for a bit. He says that he was brought up in an orphanage and he's going to close his office and move to Los Angeles.
Yep.
And
got that
and she's
love story going.
Why is that?
Yeah.
And just hour after hour passes and Huffner sees her growing sadness and just gets more upset, and you can see it on everyone's faces how disappointed they are.
You're watching the clock tick away hour by hour by hour.
And finally the bell strikes the hour, and
at
the
11
grandkids,
o'clock,
all of them
magically appear.
They're all in the doorway standing together. They all come at the same time.
And they came in quietly. Nobody heard them.
Nobody heard them.
There was maybe 10 people there. You would have heard something coming in the house.
I know you're disappointed, Mrs. Kingsley.
Are you surprised, Grandma?
No,
indeed. I expected you. Oh, Alyssa. Oh, Josh. Darling. Oh, I'm so glad to see you.
Oh, we didn't even know ourselves that we were coming until yesterday.
You know, I called Josh.
But Liz had called me already.
I didn't even know how to reach Josh until Morris, Mr. Huffner, left his number with me.
And with me.
Oh, he did.
Oh, wait, I almost forgot.
Uh-huh.
Grandma, this is Patty. We're getting married.
Oh, well, that is a surprise.
I've got another surprise for you, Grandma. This is Nora.
Nora, God bless you, dear.
And this is her little boy, Adam.
Oh, Adam, well, you are my best Christmas present. Let me see you. Oh, you're beautiful. Give Grandma a big kiss. Thank you.
Grandma.
Yes, honey. What?
It's taken us a long time to grow up and realize that usually there's a reason why people act the way they do.
Yes, there is.
And maybe we didn't try to understand Father any more than he tried to understand us.
Maitland didn't like go and answer the door. Nothing, you know, it was like they just snuck in, and Josh introduces his fiance. Harley introduces his wife and child. I mean, it's like, oh, by the way, you're a great grandma, and that's got to be so weird. But they all ask for another chance, and finally, Andrew arrives. He just dropped by to give her the documents that will void his request to be conservator. They all ask forgiveness. Andrew meets his grandson, and they all embrace, and Andrew welcomes his kids home. Even Huffner gets misty, and I'm not gonna lie, this is where I got a little misty as well. And yeah.
I know I haven't always understood you, Andrew. But there never was a moment that I didn't love you. I want you to know that. And I want you to believe that. It's very important for both of us.
Mommy says you're supposed to be my grandfather.
This is Adam, Harley's little boy, his son.
I'm not supposed to be your grandfather, Adam. I am your grandfather.
Merry Christmas, Father.
Merry Christmas, Father.
Merry Christmas, Father.
And then Mrs. Kingsley, she goes to get her shawl, and she sees a dove outside. Yay, the end.
Yep. Roll credits.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, it's the weirdest Christmassy. It's building to that moment, but then like nothing really happens until
for
the
most part,
very,
it's so
very, very
anticlimactic.
end.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you could be in this, though, who would you be?
Oh gosh, I'd be the Santa Claus you didn't see, because you got to have Santa Claus at the Christmas. At least, on the street, collecting money, ringing a bell. I don't know.
Yeah.
This is so depressing. I don't know if I want to be this.
I mean, I feel like the Huffner is probably the best role, but I think I'd rather be Josh just because he's just a musician, just doing what he wants to do.
Well, that's very fitting for a musician like yourself. So,
okay. Well, then here's another hard question. What would you say is your happiest like moment with this?
That actually wasn't that hard. First, I was thinking going for the first 85 minutes. I didn't know if I was going to have a happiest moment. But when Adam, that would be Josh's kid, walked up to Andrew and said, "You're supposed to be my grandfather."
Oh, it's Harley's kid.
Harley's kid. Okay.
Yeah.
when Adam, the great grandson, walked up to Andrew and said, "You're supposed to be my grandfather," and Andrew's like, "I'm not supposed to be your grandfather. I am your grandfather." That's when I got misty-eyed. So that was
I gotcha. Yeah.
It took me
Yeah.
85 minutes, but they hooked me right then.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like, oh, I'm getting verklempt.
Yep.
Talk amongst yourselves. Yeah. For me, I mean, it's got to be when the dad comes in and all his grown adult kids like go hug him and
Yep.
say that they love him.
Yeah, pretty much the same moment for me. I just was a little bit before that.
Yeah. I mean, that's the gimme, right?
Yep.
But now we come to my favorite part of the show, which is a little segment I call Gag Me with the Spoon, where we do our best impression of our least favorite part of this movie. As a guest, I'll let you go first. Just kind of set up the scene for us.
Okay, this is when Andrew is given the choice to petition the courts to declare Amanda incompetent, and he finally decides to give in to do it. And my impression isn't going to sound like what he sounded; it's just how I thought it sounded, because he reminded me of Palpatine in Episode 3. He's like, "Do it."
That would have been awesome if Palpatine, if Andrew was actually Palpatine.
Yeah.
He's a Sith Lord this whole time, orchestrating it all.
Oh my gosh.
That would be awesome. Now, for me, this is where Huffner, he tracks down Josh, the first one, and Josh is like telling him all the stuff, and he's like, "Hey, if I wanted to know what made people tick, I would have been a shrink."
Yeah.
Like, yeah, good point. Good point, man. But G.I. Joe taught us that knowing is half the battle. What do you think the other half is?
If knowing is half the battle, the other half is hiring a detective who can search all of Canada for you.
That's really, really close to mine.
Yeah.
If no one's half the battle, the other half is just hiring the right PI. So
Yep, PI, not detective. You're right.
That's
I even screwed that up.
there you go.
I wrote that down the first time I watched it, not the second time when it really stuck in my head that he was a private investigator, not a detective.
Well, if Andrew's a Sith Lord, maybe Huffner's a Jedi, and that's why he can find everybody.
Oh my! Oh gosh! If only we could do this whole alternate universe theory like we did with the Chipmunk episode. I'm not the right person to take us down that road.
I like it. I think I think we could make a case that Huffner's a Jedi for sure. And I mean, it seems like Andrew totally is a Sith Lord.
Oh, definitely. I already planted that seed. So,
Jeremy, this has been a lot of fun. Tell me, what do you want to plug? Tell me about anything you got coming up.
Let's see. I'm sure I've got shows coming up on here. I guarantee I've got shows coming up on this show, because even if this is the last one of the year, I'll be back in 26, I'm sure, as long as you'll bring me back. But let's see. I've got lots of social media type stuff to plug. We'll get J-Wave out of the way. He's the professional wrestling manager in the San Antonio area. Catch the Wave Baby is my Instagram and Facebook. If you're looking to book a Santa Claus in the San Antonio area, it's got to be at least November by now. If I'm open, contact me. And if you want to contact me for next year, I'm good with that too. AlamoCitySanta.com, Alamo City Santa on Instagram and Facebook. And last, and at this point, certainly not least, if you're looking for Santa-related merchandise, that includes T-shirts that are out now. That includes the design for your car magnet, which is available now, and the nice list scrolls, which just went online today in my time.
Cool.
And those are all your best bet to find me would be northpolegeneralstore.com. That'll bring you to both my social medias and the Etsy page. So that's just a landing page, but the links will get you everywhere you need to go.
Do you know, is it APW? Is that like All Pro Wrestling or something like that? Maybe up here
I've heard of something like that. I don't know a whole lot in the Dallas area, though. I know some people. Okay. I know some people from the area, but I barely know it's the same. I know the only stuff I really pay attention to is the stuff that I deal with.
Yeah,
and I mostly work with I work with like 3 promotions in the area.
I got,
and they're all connected.
Yeah, I got you. Because one of our installers apparently is not only a stuntman but also a wrestler, and he does that for that. It's Jacobs. I don't recall at the moment.
I don't know,
but
there's a good chance I don't know his real name.
Well, that's yeah,
because
it's true.
When I meet someone, we usually introduce ourselves by our real names, but nobody calls me Jeremy. I'm
Right,
J-Wave.
right. You're J-Wave. Yeah, for sure.
And anybody, and these are people that I've known for 15 years, and I wasn't J-Wave when I met them, but I'm J-Wave. And
Right.
anybody that's newer, well, I'm definitely J-Wave. So
there you go.
And so if you introduce me, if you tell me your name is Kevin, but you go by the name Chase, I'm going to call you Chase.
Right. Well,
I'll forget Kevin.
I know he goes by Jason, but I don't remember the last part of it. It's Jason something. But his name's Jacob. His real name's Jacob. I don't recall what his wrestling name is. But anyway, that's just a little side adventure here.
That's just, padding our runtime because this is the shortest episode I've ever been on.
Well, it's not a whole lot to talk about here unless we really wanted to get into the melodrama. And I was like, I don't feel it's been a long day.
Yeah. And there's only two voices, so that decreases the runtime too. So
that's also true for sure. Anyway, but thanks again. This was fun.
It was great being here again, man.
It's always a pleasure talking with you. It's not always a pleasure talking these specific things, but talking with you is always great. So
yes, absolutely. This wasn't a bad.
It wasn't. I mean, it got us misty in certain parts. So.
I watched the worst movie, a week ago, but you liked it. So did Chad. So.
Oh man, I love that movie. Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah.
You're like, yeah, I'm gonna put that in quotes.
Yeah. That was a movie. Great performance by Ozzy.
Oh man, Ozzy was great.
Yep.
Best part
for all 90 seconds.
But on that note, I'll end it with: there is no peace without forgiveness, and no happiness without peace. So check us out on our social media pages, which you can find at linktree.com/totallyradchristmas. And if you're feeling like spending Christmas with your family, leave us a review on iTunes. It helps us reach more people and spread some rad holiday cheer. Now, don't forget to check out our merch shop on tpublic.com and our super dope website, totallyradchristmas.com. Merry Christmas, Father. Later, dudes.
Welcome home.